Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rose Writes and I write and narrate Miraculous Ladybug fan fiction. Thank you so much to ChocoLuck Chipz for allowing me to use their amazing artwork in my thumbnail. If you'd like to check them out, their info will be linked below. Also, if you haven't seen the previous 24 parts of Adrienette April, they will also be linked below. Without further ado, please enjoy Adrienette April, Day 24. First Kiss. Adrien eyed his script, looking intensely at the stage directions that instructed Romeo to kiss the lifeless Juliet. He winced at the words. Kiss? He had never kissed anyone before, and for his first kiss to be a stranger. How embarrassing. He flopped back onto his bed, the script covering his face from the bright lights overhead. He stayed like this for a while until his phone emitted a soft ding. Hey Adrien, Papa tried a new macaroon recipe. He was looking for taste testers. Would you be interested? Adrien shot up, mouth watering. Mr. Dupin's macaroons! He hadn't eaten anything sweet in months because of the strict model diet his father forced him to adhere to. This would be the perfect excuse. As he typed out a response to Marinette, he saw his script laying open on his bed. He'd love nothing more than to goof off for a few hours, but the play... He was supposed to be off book by the end of the week, and he had probably memorized 3 acts already out of the 5. The script appeared daunting, having the width of 3 fingers. He sighed heavily, then typed a remorseful message to Marinette. Hello, Marinette. Sorry. As much as I'd love to, and I mean I would love to. I'm in a production of Romeo and Juliet, and I've procrastinated learning my lines. Can I take a rain check? Adrien placed his phone on the bedside table, picking up his script, thumbing through the endless pages. Not even a minute passed before his phone dinged once more. I love Shakespeare. I could help if you'd like. Adrien smiled at the message. That was so very Marinette, always willing to lend a helping hand. He threw on a light jacket, script in hand, texting her back as he left his house in a rush. Sounds great. Be there soon. He eagerly knocked on the door of the bakery, the scent of fresh pastries engulfing him, causing his mouth to water. Hi, Marinette chirped as she swung the door open wide. The smells now flooding all of his senses. He could nearly taste it. Come on. She pulled him into the bakery by his sleeve, grabbing a plate of macaroons as she whisked Adrien away to her room. They sat in silence, scarfing down the trees. So, Marinette started, mouth full, then taking a gulp of water to wash it down. Shakespeare, huh? That sounds like a lot of fun, she said as she flipped through the thick script to the memorable scene between the 2 characters, soaring into a dramatic monologue. O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. Adrien's heart swelled a bit at the lovely words. Could Marinette be Juliet? Then this might be easier. That was beautiful! He applauded her as she curtsied. I wish you were in the play with me. Really? Marinette beamed at him. Yeah. Adrien replied with a hint of dejection. Shakespeare is a genius playwright, and our director is world-renowned. It's going to be a great show, but... But? Marinette asked, grabbing yet another macaroon off of the almost empty plate. Let me just show you. He took the script from her, going to nearly the end of the play, showing it to her. Adrien placed his elbows on his knees as she tried to make out his chicken scratch handwriting in the margins of the page. She squinted her eyes a bit, reading. I will kiss thy lips, haply some poison yet doth hang on them, to make dye with a restorative. Juliet crosses to center stage to kiss Romeo. Marinette stared at it for a moment before responding. Yeah, seems pretty standard. Did you not know Romeo and Juliet kissed? She laughed as Adrien snatched the script from her. Of course I knew that! Then he looked back at the script. I guess I knew that, but I didn't really know that. He sighed. Marinette softened her expression as he gazed at the words with sadness. What's going on, Adrien? I don't want to kiss her, he said, his face turning every shade of red. Marinette was his best friend. Why did he feel embarrassed? This admission made him feel guilty. This was just a job like any other, except he'd be kissing a stranger. It felt weird. When he really only wanted to kiss one girl. His eyes shifted to Marinette, who kindly put a hand on his shoulder. Why? She gasped, covering her mouth. Is it Chloe? Ooh, worse. It's Lila. I bet it's Lila. Marinette's voice started as a whisper, growing in intensity. Adrien forced out a chuckle. No, thankfully. It's someone I've never met, except at some rehearsals, and... He gritted his teeth, feeling them grind together. I've never kissed anyone before. He felt ashamed, which he knew was stupid, but most 16-year-old guys had at least kissed someone. Adrien, it's okay. Don't be embarrassed about it. I said I'd help you, and that's what I'll do. What if, Her face matched his blushed expression. What if we kissed? His eyes widened, mouth agape. What? Marinette immediately flew into a panic, waving her hands furiously in front of her. Obviously we don't have to. I just thought if you wanted to practice the kiss, then maybe you'd feel less nervous on stage with the stranger. Sorry, it was a stupid idea. She spoke quickly, slightly stumbling over her words. Adrien gingerly took her flailing arms. You'd honestly do that for me? Her movements calmed down as she found herself standing close to Adrien. Yeah, anything for you. I trust you and you trust me, and if you think this'll help. Yeah, he stammered, clearing his throat. Let's see. He flipped to the back of the script, landing on the last few pages, silently speed reading. Okay, Marinette read off to his side. I think there are 2 kisses in this scene, so I guess start with the first one, so I'll lay here being unconscious and you've just drank the poison. She positioned herself on the chaise longue, looking more like Sleeping Beauty. After a moment, Marinette opened one eye, peeking at him. Action! That's movies, but... Adrien shook his head, clearing his rapid thoughts, then began reciting his lines. O true apothecary, thy drugs are quick, thus with a kiss I die. He hesitantly approached Marinette, his friend looking peaceful. He balled his hands into fists, digging his nails into his palms. On his knees, he leaned over her resting place, placing a kiss tenderly on her lips. Even though she was supposed to be dead, she kissed him back softly, taking his hand in hers. Adrien smiled through the kiss, then whispered, Dead people aren't supposed to kiss back. She laughed, sitting up. I'm not really dead. Geez, Adrien, have you even read the script? Marinette joked. Good point. Adrien brushed his fringe out of his face as he took the spot next to her, feeling an overwhelming amount of love for Marinette. He had never felt this way for anyone. She cleared her throat, burying her face in the script to hide the redness of her cheeks. That was, good. Okay, moving on. Romeo falls to the floor, poisoned, and Juliet comes to. And action! Marinette read from the script with a bit of emotion. Adrien just sat there, analyzing her movement, taking in her beauty and the beauty of the words she spoke. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang on them, to make dye with a restorative. She kisses him. Her eyes flew up to Adrien, who, to her surprise, still stared at her. He leaned in, kissing her, holding her close. Okay, so this wasn't part of the play, but it was better. This was real. In that moment, as he held his real-life Juliet in his arms, he felt grateful he could share his first kiss with Marinette. She was worth the wait. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. That would be amazing. Thank you so much for being really patient with my uploads. I really appreciate it. Work has been crazy, but I promise I am writing all the time and really doing my best to get some stuff out there. And as always, stay miraculous!